Union membership is down. Is that why big Labour is pushing to hike the federal minimum wage up? We're seeing a big push for action this Labour Day. To Labour professor Carla Katz, who says it is needed. Oh, wait a minute, Professor. What's needed? We need to raise the minimum wage, or you guys, you union people, you need more members. Both, isn't it?
Well, it is a little bit of both. You know, unions certainly understand the need for strength in numbers. But the reality is we've seen a decimation of the middle class, more and more jobs at the lowest end of the wage scale, and people are suffering intensely in this economy, and raising the minimum wage will not only strengthen the economy, but it rewards a hard day's work.
You're a professor
hard days
at Rutgers.
Yes, I am.
I respect that. Have you never heard of the argument that if you raise the cost of labour, employers use less of it?
Yes. That argument's been being made since 1938, when the Fair Labor Standards Act was first passed. The National Association of Manufacturers back in '38 said that this was a step towards fascism and communism.
Is it wrong?
The argument is wrong. Every time the minimum wage has been raised, big business says the same thing. It's a job killer. We're going to lose jobs. We're going to have to lay people off. And in fact, the truth is quite the opposite. People need money in their pockets to stimulate consumer demands. Low-wage people with more money in their pockets will spend that money. Businesses will reap the rewards of that money. And the economy has been historically stronger each time the minimum wage has been raised.
Why don't you accept the idea that there's different levels of jobs, and that not all jobs must support a person and their spouse and their children, because they don't. Surely you must accept that there are such a thing as entry-level jobs, and the market will decide how much those entry-level jobs are worth, how much they're paid, and the skills which those workers bring to the table will determine the pay that they receive. You're about to give them a pay raise for doing nothing.
Nobody should work 40 hours a week in the richest country on earth and live below the poverty line.
If they don't have the skills to go above it, and if the supply of that labor is such that and the demand for it creates that price, that's where you are.
Well, that's, you know, we live in a country where we have growing income inequality that's damaging our economy. Raising the bottom will improve the economy for everyone, including those at the middle.
Because you are a Democrat. President Obama has favored redistribution for 5 going on 6 years, and the working poor have gotten worse off. The middle class has shrunk.
The president believes in raising the minimum wage. It has been the Republicans in Congress that have pushed to stop it. Well, it hasn't happened
manifestly. It has not
at the federal level, but the states are raising. Hundreds of states have recognized the need to make a change, including our state of New Jersey, with a Republican governor, have made the change to increase the minimum wage, understanding that more money in people's pockets will mean more money in the economy. But that's just a reality.
Look, I think the difference between us is this. I don't think that you should legislate wages, because as soon as you legislate a wage, you introduce politics. And people will vote for the politician who will give them a raise. And that's no good. That does not work. If you have the market decide the supply and demand of that skill level, let that decide who gets paid what, then you've got a viable, dynamic society. And people have a stake in moving up the food chain. It's this or that. Yours doesn't work. This does.
But people do need to live and be able to pay their rent, be able to, you know, not have to choose between.
Stay in school, study more.
But it's not about studying more and staying in school.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's really not.
There are entry-level jobs, and you move up by taking responsibility and gaining skills.
If you get an entry-level job
Come on, Professor.
Walmart,
you need a guy with an English accent to tell you that. Get out of here.
Let me just give you one example.
Have you got tenure?
The CEO, no, I don't. Not yet. The CEO of Walmart.
You should legislate for that.
In 1 hour earns more and you know this, in 1 hour earns more than the average Walmart employee earns if they work full-time for a year. That's obscene.
No, it's not obscene. That's your judgment.
Obscene.
That's your value judgment. And you're a leftist professor. And you know what? I'm out of time. Flat out of time. Carla Katz, we enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And to you too.